Now, for our last conversation of this last day of the month on Good Morning Namibia. Now, in Namibia, graphic design, illustration, and visual arts play a transformative role in empowerment by providing them with creative outlets and valuable career paths. Now, these fields foster self-expression and cultural preservation, allowing young Namibian artists to celebrate their unique heritage while navigating global trends. For young women in particular, the rise of digital platforms and visual media has opened new doors to entrepreneurship, helping them overcome traditional barriers in the arts and establish their voices in a historical male-dominant industry. We now speak to Happy Auala, who is a graphic designer and visual artist, just to basically talk to us about what it means for her to be in this industry. Happy, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
You look happy.
I have to be, I have to carry the name.
Represent.
Definitely.
All right, let's get to know you a little bit and also how did you get into graphic designing?
Okay, so my name is Happy Auala. I am an artist overall. A graphic designer as well as a visual artist, and I dabble a little bit in fashion. And I would say I got into this industry from a very young age. I've just been very passionate about art. It's always been a form of expression for me, a way of storytelling. And I've just grown over the years by really just trying out different scenes within the art industry.
Yeah. What does it mean, or what does it take to be a graphic designer?
I mean, graphic designer is an overall creative, right? But this is infused with that of being able to cater to corporates as well. Because when you're a graphic designer, you're basically able to design corporate identities, logos, flyers. The banners that you see as you're passing on the road, those are created by graphic designers.
Yeah.
So it really takes just that creative and out-of-the-box thinking type of mindset.
Amazing. What would you say is your best work yet?
Wow, I can't even tell you it. Because as a graphic designer, I love to fuse different forms of art, like I said. One of my recent projects is basically like a t-shirt range and collection that I've done. I first did a solo piece called The Three Wise Souls. Okay. It started off as a painting, and then I merged it onto graphic design, and then I basically applied it on t-shirts and started selling that. After that, I had a collection that's currently available along with my sister. So I'd say that's one of the most favorite projects that I have out at the moment.
Amazing. What does it mean, to you being in a male-dominated industry? And we also can't shy away from the fact that, men take up more space, in that. Like, do you see any competition there? Or are we back to the conversation of, the future is female?
No, I mean, I'm all for equality. Yeah. So I love seeing men being in this industry, but I love to see more women also step into that role. Yeah. I mean, being a creative, whether it's in the IT or graphic or visual kind of segment, is not only for males. I want women to really step out there and step out of that shell and try just doing something unique as well. So for me, I love to see more women. It is male-dominated, but I am an example that it's possible. You can do it.
Would you suggest or recommend someone do graphic designing as a full-time job in Namibia?
I would definitely. I mean, I will admit we're still quite behind in terms of, you'll see people looking for graphic designers to do work for them, but they're not always willing to pay the amount that I feel is really worthy for the work. Yeah. But I think now more than ever, I think it's time for us to really step out, demand what you feel you are worth, and the right companies will attract companies that understand the value and the work that graphic designers bring to the table.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges you face as a young female graphic designer in Namibia?
I would say some of the challenges, definitely, like I said, there aren't as many opportunities. I have spent some time in Angola and other countries as well. And I will admit that when it comes to the art scene as a whole in other countries that are a little bit more developed, there's a lot of more opportunities. There's platforms, workshops and so forth that allow artists to come through and display their work. And not only graphic design, even as a visual artist, I would say there's some galleries that you'd see in other countries that allow artists to bring their work for free, and you get to partake in exhibitions and whatnot. over here, I do see some challenges in the fact that a lot of artists have to pay just to display their things at markets or in galleries. So I think a little bit more leniency and opportunities would really go a long way for our youth.
Yeah. Are you self-taught?
I am self-taught, but I also
Nice.
have basically studied graphic designing. I graduated in graphic design. When it comes to visual art and fashion, I am self-taught, but I've been in the industry for about 10 years now. So I could say I'm a pretty well seasoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what advice would you give young women who would perhaps, want to enter the industry and perhaps just know nothing, about graphic designing?
I would love for them to first and foremost do the research,
Yeah.
right? Find out what it's all about, because there's different segments when it comes to graphic design. Whether or not you want to do logos, whether or not you want to do photo and video editing, or you're interested in a website, it's so broad, way
Yeah.
broader than we know. So I would say first do the research, see if you have that creative bone in you, and then of course go ahead and give it a shot. I mean, it is a pretty well-paid industry if you really just do the due diligence of educating yourself, even after you study. Take the time.
Yeah.
Go ahead and look at these YouTube videos or study up on the latest developments. There's so much developments happening on the daily. So I would definitely encourage people to go ahead and give it a shot if you feel it's for you.
Yeah. Any final remarks, Happy, before we let you go?
Yes, I mean, I'd love to reach out to everybody that's watching at the moment. I currently have, like I said, a collection out with my sister of t-shirts. But not only that, I also do live paintings. So for any corporate events that you're hosting, whether or not it's a fundraiser or a summit, I basically come on stage or come along to your venue. I create a painting from scratch, whatever size you want it to be. And I think that's just a beautiful way to get people interacting and seeing art developed in front of their eyes.
Wow. You also do wedding portraits?
I also do wedding portraits, commission work, all of that.
Amazing. Well, Happy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We wish you all the best with your future endeavors, and hopefully next time you get to bring us a t-shirt.
I would love
so we get to see how they look like.
I sure will.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, that was Happy Auala. She is a graphic designer and visual artist, joining us this morning, talking to us about her work, also how it feels to be a young woman, in this male-dominated industry. She basically said, do not shy away if you want to become a graphic designer. Bring out your culture, bring out yourself, bring out everything, and also it's a form of art, It tells a story, Well, Good Morning Namibia continues after this. Don't go anywhere.